Welcome back to the first episode of Misunderstood in 2026. I am Renee V, also known as Mrs. Understood, and this podcast is really where being misunderstood makes perfect sense. And I am like beyond thrilled today to have today's guest, Geeta Sidhu-Robb, multi-award winning entrepreneur, health coach, and activist. A five-time winner of Entrepreneur and Businesswoman of the Year, Geeta has built and scaled successful businesses, coached women through IPOs and major exits, and worked with some of the world's most influential leaders. From founding Nosh Detox to advising high-performing women at the top of their fields, Geeta's work sits at the intersection of success, well-being, and systemic change. She's also a lifelong activist, helping lead one of the UK's largest political movements. This conversation is about leadership, reinvention, and what it really takes to build success without burning yourself out. So welcome, Geeta.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course. So something struck me when in my readings about that you sent to me. And one of the questions I always ask potential guests is, what's a moment in your journey when you felt misunderstood? And your answer was LOL from birth. And I am the same exact way. And please just share a little bit about that.
I was talking to my kids about it this over Christmas, over the holidays, and I was saying that my poor father, who was like a leading light in the community, and my parents were both very famous, and my father and I had forgotten this, daily had a queue of people outside his door lining up to complain about me, and they would just be like, "Oh my God, Sidhu, your daughter, she said this, and then she wouldn't do this, and then I wanted this, and she was like, well, that's silly, and she's 10. Why is your daughter telling me she's silly?" And my father was like, was she rude? He goes, no, she just fought with me and disagreed with me. And he was like, kind of, yeah, well, I think she should. And it would just be stupid stuff that they were like, their answer was, because you're a girl. And
Oh.
my answer was, that's not good enough, ever. Right. So it would be stupid things like, a really famous actor. Imagine Brad Pitt having an affair with Angelina Jolie while he's married to Jennifer Aniston. Whoops. And them going, oh my God, like that's Angelina's fault. Imagine. And me going, but she's not married. Brad's married. Why is it her fault? Oh, you don't understand. No, explain to me what, and they would just be traumatized. It was just stupid, basic stuff like that. That was constant. And I fought every one of them. And my poor father, like there was a queue of, and my father would go, so a little girl is terrorizing you, is this what you're saying? And they well, so I kind of came from that place. I'm a product of a very aristocratic, upper class, wealthy Indian family, and you are a well-born commodity.
Mm-hmm.
Now all women are commodities, all women, right? And we need to clearly internalize that we are all commodities. And that is why we people please, because part of our commoditization is to people please, because that is the result. Your commodity has to be fit for purpose. And our fit for purpose is to do everything without getting paid for it, and without caring if we're good at it, and without caring if we want to do it, which ultimately wedges us into the people pleasing arena, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you're an upper class version of it, you have to not only be that commodity, so you have to people please, but you have to be highly groomed, you have to be highly intelligent, you have to be highly cognizant and highly charming and highly friggin' everything, in order to be that commodity. You can't just be a little woven raffia bag. You have to be the Chanel of all bags. And so I used to laugh about it. I'd be like, you can dump me anywhere in the world, and in 24 hours, I can host a fantastic dinner for 100 people, because that was a skill set I was trained in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's useless entirely, but it's a skill set.
Sure.
So I was just like, yeah. And
Wow. And that's a lot of weight to put on a little girl's shoulders when you're born into this type of family, to have all of these expectations that of you, and you feeling like you were going to crack because it's not who you are in essence and inherently. So fighting others was not fighting per se. It was probably, perceived as fighting, but you were just expressing yourself, really.
yeah, but I also was rejecting it wasn't even like I was going to crack. I never felt like I was going to crack. I really more felt like that I utterly inimicably to my core rejected that assumption that this is all that I was. So I did
Mhm.
all that. I mean, there was a reason I became a lawyer, and it sure as hell was not because I wanted to be one.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, I'll do all this, but I hate it. It's not enough. It's not good enough. I disagree with it. And let me tell you all about how much I'm still doing the same stuff every day.
Wow. It's wild to listen to you say all of that because it's very similar to my path.
Oh,
Um,
you can't meet women without them having some form of cognizance of where this is, right?
And I always consider people like us almost like generational breakers where pass on different qualities to our children because of where we came from. And we like to change the kind of a paradigm in our lives and our families' lives and what we pass down. So that's really, really awesome. So your journey spans law, health, entrepreneurship, and activism. When you look back, what do you think was the moment that truly changed the direction in your life?
I think it was probably, I think you never have one moment,
Mhm.
but I think it was probably the fact that when my son got ill and he was allergic, he had anaphylaxis and he had all these allergies, and I was in hospital holding him because he had an anaphylactic reaction and they were trying to get him to sit still long enough to put in an IV line. And I was holding his
Mhm.
tiny, he was only
Oh.
6 months old, tiny body. And he stopped moving. And I was like, oh, phew, he's going to let them in. And he'd actually stopped breathing. His heart had stopped. And he had cardiorespiratory arrest. And I'm holding my child's dead body basically. And then they grab him and he's so little, like you can only, move the heart with 2 fingers. They had to put the IV drips in the groin because there weren't veins big enough, all this stuff. And I remember being in the hospital in intensive care. And I wouldn't leave. I slept on the floor because I just didn't care what you go and sleep. No, if I leave, he'll die. I'm not leaving. And
Right.
so I was not in anyone's way, but and then the nurses were so kind when, they were like, come and shower, use our shower, come in, and all, you're sleeping on incontinence mats on the floor and all this shit. And I remember that my parents wouldn't fly out because my father wanted to come and my mother said, no, it's too expensive.
Mhm.
Right. We owned a bank. My son's father didn't come because his brother said that I was exaggerating, and obviously that hadn't happened. My my ex-husband, who we had been friends, he came to visit, and everybody said to him, "Oh my God, you poor thing." And I'm like, and I remember thinking, actually, that I didn't have any value in anybody's eyes,
Oh my goodness.
except if I was a good girl. And it kind of broke something in me because I was like, what would be the point of being a good girl? What is the point
Mhm.
here? There is none.
None.
Because actually, nothing I do is ever going to make you see me differently. And here, where I really need you guys, not one of you has shown up for me. And it was that time that, and I was like, I'm weak, I'm powerless, I'm helpless, and I'm alone. And I was like, all right, done, never again. And I kind of, it would many never again moments. They're always for me
Mhm.
come from never again. I don't know where people come from positivity and little chirpy birds and light. I'm like from never again. And I kind of put a flag in the ground. I was like, never again. I'm
Yeah.
never again going to be a good girl unless it suits me. I only want to be the most powerful woman that I know.
Mhm.
And I am absolutely the most powerful woman I know. But not only that, I'm one of the most powerful people that I know.
Oh,
And
I
I know a lot
love
of
that.
very powerful people.
I love that. And I look at my sweatshirt that's self-love. That is knowing your worth, having a really positive attitude towards yourself, which a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
And some people would have crumbled in that moment where they felt unseen when their child was sick, and you are carrying the brunt of it. And it's really, gosh, oh, it's like soul crushing to me to hear that when you were going through that, you had to deal with your son, you had to deal with like just how people were treating you on top of it, where you should have been, supported and loved and hugged. And Gosh, all the things. But it just is a testament to the kind of human you are, where you were like, you can
But
take that.
Renee,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that strong, intelligent women are rarely supported. I don't think there's
Right.
anything unique about me not being supported. I remember this when I walked out of my marriage and I was like, nobody cared what I thought. Nobody cared what I wanted. They just wanted me to do what made their lives easier. And
Correct.
I think if you ask, and women that are intelligent and successful and powerful are intensely isolated.
Mhm.
And we just don't say that out loud often enough. And I just happen to say it all the time. So I don't think there was anything unique in my scenario. I think I'm just unique because I talk about it so much.
Sure, but your reaction to that type of behavior is so far different than other women's reactions to that behavior. And I think that's what makes you different because you
Yeah.
took that and you said, I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to move forward. And the whole, what do they think about me? It took me 40 years to stop caring what people thought about me. And I made a conscious choice to do that. A lot of women don't even understand that it is a choice, that
Yeah.
they can choose that. And the isolation part of it, I feel very strongly about. It's something that I feel all the time, really, because of the path that I'm on. And I don't even care, Geeta. Like I'm not even like I don't care that I have friendships have fallen to the wayside. So my family doesn't know what to talk to me about anymore because I've changed, so drastically, in my opinion, in the best of ways. But it comes at a cost. And if you're not able to handle that, those people might not want to be around you because your light is so bright. Instead of dimming yourself, you need to just shine brighter, and all the people that are shining bright will be there with you.
Yes.
And that is, I think that's so important to talk about. So,
That's beautifully put.
yes. So my questions are totally different than what I was going to ask, and I love that. So for women who feel this way, um, but they feel like they're called to create some sort of change, and they feel stuck kind of in the situation where you handled it in such a great way, but most women wouldn't. Like, what's an intentional step someone could take to just kind of like take back their power and focus on what's really important, which is yourself?
So I think there are two things. It's a really good question. There are two things with that, and one is more difficult than the other. But one is that, like, it's the thing that I coach to, which is why I'm speaking about it, because I think I'm one of the very few people that coach to this. And I know that for women, I'm the only person that even talks about this. Is that we need to clearly see for us as women that there's a very big difference between self-confidence and self-esteem.
Mhm.
And self-confidence is the clothing we wear externally. It is what we're good at. It's how we get things done. It's how we make things happen. It's how we get groomed. It's all of this. And
Mhm.
that's our self-confidence. And you can be literally Madonna and Gwyneth Paltrow and be that self-confidence and still have low self-esteem.
Mhm.
And number one is to understand that. Because what I mean by low self-esteem, and women often fight me on this, because they're like, no, look what I've done. Yes. But what you do is not who you be.
Yeah.
So your self esteem is that mean voice inside your head that is saying, oh, yeah, but you're too fat. Oh, wow. Like they thought you did this. Did you really do that? Oh, my God, how embarrassing. That dip, 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 that's going on. That's the level of your self esteem. And actually, I need you to separate the two and understand it. Because once you separate the two and understand it, only then do you understand that the way you talk to yourself, you would never, ever, with a gun to your head, talk like that to anyone else that you love in your life. Even
Right.
people you hate, you wouldn't say those things to.
Mhm.
Right? So that is step one. Step two is to understand that we as women, because we're commodities that are trained to people please, are afraid of power.
Mhm.
And we personify power as, I don't know, Donald Trump,
Mhm.
Elon Musk, white male toxicity on a very big level.
Oh yeah.
And actually, women have power that is a completely different version of power. We have a version of soft power, with a smaller p, that really makes the world go round. And that soft power is that we can create life. And that soft power is that we can change the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to embrace that level of power just for you.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with your self-image. So like what you're speaking about is, we all have an internal self-image, but we also have an external. So the external, I think, is more of the confidence, you know,
I'm
area.
sorry, it's so cold in here. I
It's
came
okay.
back yesterday. It's like -3 degrees in England, and we don't do cold. So I'm just
Oh,
sitting here
it's
like this,
okay. It's okay.
not because I'm struggling with our conversation, but oh heavens, it's
Oh
cold.
no, I could tell. And you're probably tired. You had a day.
No, no, I'm just cold. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I'm
All
having
right.
the
Because
best
sometimes when
time.
I'm tired, I shiver. So the external self-image, the one we present to others, is oftentimes very different than the internal
So
self-image.
much.
So, and I've noticed that now that I've raised my awareness in all areas, I've noticed that about people that I used to think were really confident. And then you put them in a position where, like, let's say, for example, yoga. I have a friend who seems very, very confident. When I put her in a yoga class, she was completely like looking at everyone and like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do the downward dog again, and just so unsure of herself. And she was thinking everyone's looking at her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no one is here looking at you. We're all focusing on ourselves. But it was very telling to me because if you're confident and you have like, if your internal self-image and your external are very similar, you'll walk into any kind of class, a new class, and you'll just try it and you're not going to care what people think about you because you're like, I just want to try this.
Well, yes and no. I want to caveat that. Like, I
Yeah,
laugh about the
please.
fact that I'm a
Please
fragile
do.
flower.
Yeah.
I don't know what language we're allowed to use, but I call myself a fragile fucking flower because
Oh, oh, I love that. Not
I
fragile like
laugh
a
about
flower, fragile like a bomb. That's what I like to say to
because
people.
I like there is a part because I'm really a high functioning introvert.
Mhm.
So there are places I will go in and I'm like, oh heavens, I'm still doing it. It's not going to stop me doing it. It's not going to stop me showing up. It's not
Right.
going to stop me doing all those things. But it's when the fear is so paralyzing that you're afraid to do anything in case you get it wrong.
Hmm.
That's the thing. I think that your friend, that's the part where you're like, if fear is something that defines what you're willing to do,
Hmm.
you're really struggling with self-esteem. If
Agreed.
you're mean to yourself, you're struggling with self-esteem.
Hmm.
If you can't admit that that there are things you do that you hate to do, it's low self-esteem. Because what we do is we suppress the parts of ourselves we don't like and then just manage the parts that we do like. And this we assume it's hidden and it's not,
You're right. Yeah.
right?
Wow. Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I feel like we could talk all day. Okay, so let's get down to this cool stuff. So from CEO to activist, you've seen a lot of power up close. A lot
Yeah.
of power, right? Some of the names that you even speak are people that I admire. So how do women misunderstand power? Like how can they reclaim it in a really healthy way?
There's a couple of things. Number one, think of no as being a full sentence,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
really hard,
It is.
right? It takes practice. Okay, so all of this takes practice. Please don't think you're going to do this in one day. I spent
Nope.
15, 20 years getting to this version of myself because I
Correct.
didn't know what I was trying to do. Number one, say no a lot
Mhm.
until you get the hang of it. Say no to small things until you get the hang of saying, because it's a muscle. Think of it as a muscle. Think of it as a thing you have to practice. So
Mhm.
when somebody says, oh, shall I turn the light? No. And then shut up. It's really hard to shut up. So I teach my clients, like really famous clients, they make me laugh. Like if I'm watching something and they sit on their hands, I'm like, yeah, they're trying. That's something I teach them to do, to shut up. So when
Oh.
you talk and you think you're not going to sit on your hands, it's really hard to talk when you sit on your hands. My history teacher, Mrs. Mullins, was the most frightening woman in the world. She was my history teacher from when I was 11 to like 6, 15. And she
Oh,
used to
you
sit
had
on
her
your
a
hands.
long time. Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, holy shit. And you sit on your hands, you can't speak. It's the funniest thing. So now I use it with my coaching clients. So say no and then sit on your hands. Don't say no, I'm sorry, no, but no, please, no, just say no. Now, it can be, I'm in Starbucks. Is your name Mary? No. Jenny. Whatever. And then when you've used it in small places, then when somebody says, so you can come in on Saturday, right? No.
Correct.
I'm sorry, what? No, I actually can't. I cannot come in on Saturday. So no. And we all move on. That's one thing. The other thing to understand is we often talk about boundaries, but we don't bloody learn anything from them because boundaries are stupid. Like resilience is stupid. Like bouncing back is stupid. I'm not a goddamn trampoline. I don't want to bounce back. You know what I mean? It really irritates me. The reason boundaries are stupid is we only need to put boundaries in place where we're weak. So when we put boundaries in place where we're weak, we never learn to be strong. Because where you are strong, you don't need a boundary. Can I example this?
Please,
That's not the right grammar,
please.
but you don't have any hair. Do you have any hair?
Yes,
I'm saying to you, Renee, you just don't have any hair.
yes, I do have hair.
Right. Does it upset you when I tell you you have no hair?
No,
Why?
because I have hair.
Because you know you have hair. Renee, you're not really very successful as a podcaster, are you?
Not yet.
But can you see I don't
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah,
I have no idea about your
right.
success, but I had to pick something that was going to pinch you,
Sure. Yeah.
right? Another woman, you could say, God, you're not very good at losing weight, are you?
Oh,
Or, wow, you're not very pretty, are you? At those places, you're like, and you're like, holy shit, you just die inside of you.
yeah.
Why? Because you don't know what they're saying is wrong.
Right.
Like you can turn around to a woman, and forgive me for this, but like I'll turn around to a woman and I'll be like, well, you don't have a vagina. And they're just like, shut up. Like, because you have one, you know you have one.
Yes.
But the same person can say, well, you're not very pretty, are you? And you're like, I do my best.
Oh my
You've
goodness.
got to see that. Now,
Yep.
what is that? One is what you know about you, and one is what you wish, hope, or think. Wishing, hoping, and thinking, putting a boundary up is bloody irrelevant. You're just not going to do anything with that boundary. The only reason the boundary has any use is to teach you how to develop strength around that. I have news for you. Just develop the strength,
Right.
and then you don't have to have the boundary. Boundaries are defeatist. They
Ooh.
just don't allow you to develop that strength in the space you're the weakness. I find everything I'm really weak on, and then I work on that thing. And I pick an obstacle and I fix it. Then I pick the next one, then I fix it. And
Mhm.
I'm always looking for something where I'm weak. And then I'm like, all right, we're going to nail this today. I had my nails didn't perimenopause.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, why don't my nails grow? And I was like, let me drill into getting my nails to grow. And then people keep sending me collagen. They're like, try it. And I was like, and then I found one. I
Right.
have to cut my nails.
Mm-hmm.
Just one stupid thing, but I needed it and it worked for me.
Correct.
Pick the thing, work on it. Pick the next
Pick
thing,
the
work on
thing,
it.
work on it. And it's really not rocket science. I mean, but I think it comes from a space of desiring different. And a lot of people think they're victims of their own life and, their fixed mindset where they can't change anything because this is the way I am. This is how it is. This is the way I am. Those statements kill me because I used to be a certain way and I made a conscious choice to change it.
You have to also have a conscious choice to stay where you are.
Yes, correct.
Both of them need conscious choices. So
Yep.
pick a really small thing. And what that small thing, honestly, I have never gone for big successes. I have had a huge amount of success,
Hmm.
huge amount of impact. And I actually have, not objectively. I'm not sitting here like, I just have. I never set out to do those things. I set out to just get my nails to grow. Then I did the next thing. Then I pick small, small, small things and I make that change. And then the things get a bit bigger because I fixed all the small things. So the way to know what to start with is what is the one thing that makes you feel terrible? The
Hmm.
small thing that is internal to you, that is in your control, that every time you do it makes you feel terrible. What is that thing? Like, for example, at 10 o'clock every evening, you just need to have a big tub of butter popcorn and a Coke.
Yeah.
Great. Go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Right.
Actually, just go to bed at nine
Just shut
o'clock.
it down. Yeah. Don't
No,
have,
don't even think that. Just go to bed at 9 o'clock. And if you can't sleep at 9, wake up at 5, go to bed at 9 o'clock. You'll be grateful. Do that for a week and a half. Your body will train itself out of wanting that snack.
sure.
Don't sit there going, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to, I'm
That
not.
doesn't
Oh,
work. That doesn't work.
be nice to yourself. Be
Hmm.
kind to yourself. Set it up so you're going to succeed. One small thing.
Oh, I
Park
love
your
it.
car at the end of the block.
Oh,
Get
I
out.
love it.
Walk to the end of the block. I take the tiniest frigging fragile fucking flower. I take the tiniest wins. And then somehow the big wins get on top and then they get
Right. And I was going to say that about the wins because even when I coach kids and adults, I always say like, what is something that really great that happened to you today? And they always think there has to be something massive and monumental. I'm like, you woke up today, celebrate it. You're breathing, celebrate it. The little things add up because it keeps your vibration high. And your gratitude is what brings in more of what you want because you're appreciative for what you have. So,
And then you
yeah,
don't have to develop discipline either,
yes,
because every time you do one of those things, you're naturally disciplining yourself.
it's so true. It's so true. I had to do that just recently because I was drinking wine way more than I wanted to, but I enjoy it. I had like a glass of wine with my dinner, and then I want another glass because it tastes good. And I was finding, and you said perimenopause, like it gets hard as shit to lose weight when you get older. And I was finding like this padding on me, and I work out almost every day. So I was like, something's got to change. So, instead of having my nightly wine, I switched to like this really cool, like bubbly drink that I really like that I had to consciously replace. And I feel so much better than I ever could thought I would feel after being like a wine drinker for so long. I don't even really like wine that much right now because I've kind of shifted my taste to something different. So that's hard. That's hard
Yeah,
when
I would have done like what I did was, I mean, I drink very little, but I really enjoy it. Like I
yeah.
drink my I drink like light beer, which has like 2% alcohol or something,
Yeah,
because I can't drink wine for shit.
sure.
But I just have a drinking day and then I have a non-drinking day. I
Yeah.
have a drinking day and a non-drinking day.
Yeah.
And they're just set in stone. And I'll look at my week and I'll think I'm going to drink on those days. Therefore, I will not drink on these days. And
Correct.
I put it in my calendar
Oh, that's amazing.
and I have a non-drinking day.
Yeah.
And then I have a drinking day and it's all relaxed because we know what we're doing. We don't have to sit
Sure.
and wait for it to happen or change. That's what we're doing.
I love that.
Calendar it.
It's really powerful. So okay, so I feel like we are soul sisters. I mean, I feel like I
Yes.
could talk to you all day because what you do is what I have trained myself to do is to look for the little things to change like micro habits, little bit here and there to get better, to be better, be a mom, better sister, better brother, better aunt, uncle, whatever you are. When you become better, everyone around you benefits. And I think that's kind of the narrative in just from when we were very young, it was always like, oh, don't do that, you're being selfish. Oh, you're going to do this, oh, that you're being selfish. No, in fact, and I was told that very many times that because I chose to put my kids with a sitter so I could go to the gym, I was being selfish.
Oh, that's awful.
Isn't that awful?
But so reductive as well, because
Yeah,
what they're trying,
absolutely.
but can you see how I said that? You're a commodity, your job is to people please.
Yep.
So therefore, you cannot choose anything that you want.
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't like I was going to the bar and leaving my baby in the car, It was like you're being selfish. No, in fact, and it made me feel that way. I felt guilty about it. I'm like, why do I feel so guilty? So I had to make a change with that as well because I was doing that. My health is for my kids. It's not just for me to look pretty in a dress. It's for me to be strong and healthy for my children, for my
So
husband.
let me change that then as well, because you said that when you change, everyone around you benefits. And I
Mhm.
want to say that that's not true. I think that when you first change, everyone hates
Cool. Well, yes, let's
you. And
let's be real. I have a lot of people that don't speak to me.
I think they hate you for it. And I think we should tell you to prepare for that, because that's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay for them to hate you. It's
yes.
uncomfortable, but you will not die. That
Correct.
tends me. I want to do something and I'm like, will I die? No, let's
No,
go do it.
no.
Right. And because they do that whole crap of sticks and stones will break, words will never, rubbish, words hurt.
Words
Okay.
are lethal in some ways,
So
shapes, and form.
people will hate you. But what will happen is that the people that are hating you are telling you something about that you need to know. So clock it. And
Mhm.
then there are people that will drop and
Yep.
clock that too, because those people were holding you into a format that you need to grow out of.
Woo.
So welcome that,
Oh, that's a mic drop right there.
right?
It is. And
The-
this is not common knowledge, although it should be.
Why not?
Because I don't think it's common that people understand that other people's opinions about them don't need to be their reality. That other,
Nothing that you think of me is of any relevance to me.
right, exactly. And some people perceive that as like arrogance. Like, I don't, it's not that I don't care, it's that I know my worth and I'm not going to allow whatever you say affect how I feel about myself. So there's a distinct difference between, because there's people that I know that the one little thing you say, they're so offended. And, but
Oh
why?
yeah, but they're trying to get attention. That's why.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to see it differently. Like if somebody needs to go pee, does that have anything to do with you?
No.
Then why does their thought have something to do with you?
Yeah.
Always reduce it to the lowest common
It's like so
denominator.
simple. Yeah, it's like kindergarten stuff. Like it is simple. People complicate it. And they hear self-help, self-worth, self-development, and they're like, oh, they're
Yeah.
doing that. And that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Who it's not cool to stay the same when you can be better. We can all be better.
It takes as much effort. In fact, it probably takes more effort to stay
Yeah.
unhappy
Yeah.
than it does to. But you know, I do see that it's frightening. I remember one of my very first coaching clients. She must have been my fifth or sixth client, and she said to me, I have to talk to you about something before I can carry on coaching. And I was like, right. She goes, I cannot give up smoking.
Oh,
I was like, okay.
that's a
She goes,
statement.
because this is the only thing my husband and I do together. I was like, well, then I completely understand that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are you going to do? You're like, yeah, okay, I get that. If that's the only thing you have in common, I see why you wouldn't stop. Because
Sure.
when you give up smoking and someone's still smoking, they start to smell disgusting. You don't want to kiss them. You don't want to be around them. That's going to be a problem. And
Mhm.
she was consciously subjugating herself to make her husband happy. And that was her choice. And I'm like, yeah,
So what do you say to someone like that?
oh, nothing.
You let it
Because
go.
yeah, you have to let it go because what you do is you work on increasing people's light in a million other ways. And
Hmm.
when you raise their, have you heard that expression that when you raise the water, all the boats get,
Mhm.
it's the same for a person. When you raise someone's entire ethos, and you can do it from many entry points, their diet, their exercise, their self-esteem, their habits, their micro habits. When you raise that, everything instinctively gets rid of everything that shouldn't be there.
Right.
And then you get so strong, you can't subjugate yourself anymore. And then
Right.
that's when you win.
So would you take that just my own knowledge, would you take that person as a client or are they too
She
fixed?
was already a client. So I can't fire her because she doesn't want to give up. I used to be a health coach in those days. I
Right.
like owned a health coach. So I was like, okay, well then this is the problem that smoking, this is the effect smoking has on you. So let's mitigate that.
Okay.
So we managed her vitamin C, we did this, and then we went through the mindset. So I
Mhm.
that's and that was my evolution into training mindset, not health, because your
Oh,
mindset is your
wow.
health.
Sure. Oh my goodness, Geeta, this has been like fabulous. One of my favorite
Thank
interviews.
you. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah. So one last thing. So if someone felt misunderstood, what is one thing you could tell them in one sentence that could help them?
Define misunderstood for me.
Feeling that others are not aligning with you in a way that you want them to, or you express yourself and people reject it, or just how you felt growing up being a questioning child and being told not to act like that.
You have to, you honestly, I one of my clients quoted me on something the other day, and I thought, looked at, I thought that sounds familiar, and I was laughing because it was something I used to say all the time, and I forgot. So I said, your opinion of me is none of my business.
Right.
You have to understand this, that if everybody approves of you, they cannot breathe for you.
Mm.
So the only person whose opinion you have to deal with, have to rely on, have to focus on, have to work out what it is the person that's doing the breathing.
Hmm.
And that would be you. So when somebody disapproves of you, somebody disagrees with you, look at them and think, who's breathing for me? You or me? Me. Got it. Thanks. So I don't even know if it's what, I don't even hear it anymore.
Right.
And it's such an interesting thing because you recalibrate to a place where then people then stop disapproving, which is quite funny because it doesn't make any difference to you. So why
Right.
would so when somebody disapproves of you, also understand that there's something in you that's insecure. That's why they're letting that disapproval come towards you.
Mhm.
Very few people disapprove of me.
Yeah. And if they
It's like,
do, you wouldn't know because you don't pay attention to stuff like that.
right?
Right. I call that a boundary. Like like you mentioned boundaries before, and we have to hop off in a minute, but that when you decide that what they have to say isn't going to affect you, I call that a boundary. So the way you describe boundaries is different than the way I describe boundaries, because that to me is putting it up. Like I'm not putting up with that. And people's behavior changes towards you because you are no longer accepting what they were
Yeah,
giving.
but if you had that as instead of a boundary, what if you took it a step further and had it as knowledge that you weren't
Mm,
even available for it,
yeah. It's not even
right?
a thing.
How great would that be?
Yeah.
Because the people who go around telling people you have no hair don't talk to you because
Right.
you have hair.
Correct.
What
Oh,
if they just didn't come near you?
yeah. It's so simple in that sense, isn't it? Oh, wow, Geeta. So real quickly, tell everyone where they can find you. Is there something you want to share with my audience? I want everyone out there listening, I want you to follow Geeta Sidhu-Robb. She's a badass and you need to be in her ecosystem and her atmosphere. So where can my guests find you?
Thank you. Anywhere really. LinkedIn,
Okay.
Instagram, TikTok. I
Okay.
think Instagram has a link. There's a webinar I did on lead like a woman. So women
Okay.
leading with authority. They could go and watch that.
Okay.
But honestly, anywhere, and please say hello. I would love to, happy to say
Great.
hello.
I love it. Thank you. We're going to get cut off, but thank you so much, Geeta. I'm going to send you an email. We'll follow up and I have a great day. And thank you so much.
Love
Mwah.
you, babe. Take care.
Bye.